Hi, and welcome to Living Your Dreams. I am so glad that you're joining me today because we have an outstanding show in store for you. I'm so excited about our show today. Now, as you may know, this show is dedicated to motivating, informing, entertaining, and inspiring you to live your best life. Now, often on the show, we talk to different people about their own personal journeys along the path to live the life of their dreams. We look at their struggles, their triumphs, what motivates them, what inspires them, what holds them back, what fears they may have had to face, and even some of the obstacles and roadblocks that they may have had to go over, under, or through along their journey to live the life of their dreams. And sometimes it's just you and I having a conversation where I'll share some really powerful information that can change and transform your life. And other times we talk to different experts in the area of health, fitness, spirituality, finance, beauty, and sometimes I'll just tell you about some great local entertainment that's really worth going to see. But the point of the show is always this, to remind you that you can live the life of your dreams and to help you enjoy your journey and get the most out of it. Now, I know that some of you watching right now may be going through a difficult and challenging time, and the whole idea of living a life of your dreams may in and of itself seem like a far-off and distant dream. But trust me when I tell you that if you clearly identify what it is you want and then courageously continue to walk in the direction of your dreams, take some action towards that goal day by day, step by step, and use the setbacks and challenges that face you as stepping stones and motivators. And if you keep yourself motivated, healthy, and inspired, you will find yourself living the life of your dreams. You can do it, and you deserve it. Now, my name is Mara Brown, and I'll be your host for this series. I'm a best-selling author, life coach, corporate consultant, and motivational speaker. I have 2 new books out. One is called Soaring to Success, How to Succeed in Any Economy, and the other one's called The Interior Castle, Finding Spirituality in Your Everyday Life. So welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it stimulating, uplifting, informative, and inspiring. And as always, it's my deepest hope that by the end of today's show, you personally will be touched by something or will have learned something that can help you along your own personal journey to make your greatest wishes and highest aspirations a reality, no matter what you may currently be facing in your life right now. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the show, today we have an outstanding show. I'm so excited about our guest today. He is a truly amazing, amazing man with an incredible message to share. Now, Dannion Brinkley has had an incredible, colorful, and profound journey. When he was 25, he was struck by lightning while talking on the phone one night in 1975 and was literally burned from the inside out. In 1.5 seconds, boom, his whole life changed. He actually died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And he was dead for 28 minutes until all of a sudden, Dannion found himself on a gurney with a sheet over him, back in his body, realizing that he's alive in a hallway waiting for orderlies to come and take him to the morgue. So you can imagine that, and he could not move his body because he was so badly burned, he couldn't speak. And so the only way Dannion could show that he was still alive was to blow on the sheet. So you can imagine the orderlies' day. I mean, I'm sure that they never forgot that. And so since then, Dannion has also had 2 other near-death experiences. Quite an incredible story. This man has gone from being a schoolyard bully to a government assassin to now being one of the most compassionate spiritual leaders of our time. So his first book came out in 1994 called Saved by the Light. It was a million seller, sold millions of copies all around the world. And in it, Dannion told his story about what happened to him when he died that first time and again the second time. And then his next book came out in 1996, At Peace in the Light. And he's now got a new book that's just come out called Secrets of the Light that he has co-authored with his lovely wife, Catherine, who herself has a new book out called Jewels for the Soul. Now, Dannion Brinkley is a man filled with life, with love, with humor, and with compassion, and just so filled with light. And he is also a man with a mission, and he has a profound and important message for all of us to hear. And he's here today to talk with us about what we can learn about life from death. And the interesting thing is that when you talk to Dannion about death, you're really learning about life and about love. So I am so excited to welcome to the show Dannion Brinkley. Welcome.
Wow, hello.
So glad that you're here.
That was great, Mara.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, you have experienced, not once, not twice, but 3 times, something that most of us really fear and that all of us are going to have to go through at some point, death. So what is it like? What is the experience like to be dead?
Well, it never really happens. I think what's really important, because we're at war now, we're looking at our veterans and we're looking at guys in the war, and people are dying all around us. 56,000 veterans are dying every 30 days. We're losing guys every day in far-off lands. So when people start to look at death, it becomes really important that we face that.
Because and a lot of people are very frightened to do that.
Institutions, religions, and governments, and insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies, they perpetrate this.
Well, plus you don't know what it is. So a lot of people fear that you die, poof, that's it, it's over, it's done. But from your experience, it sounds like you know to be true that that is not the case.
It's just starting, Mara. There is no such thing as death. There may be biological transition, but the spiritual self never changes. In 1975, I'd never heard of a near-death experience when this happened to me. Dr. Raymond Moody's landmark book wasn't out, and I come from the deep South. You know, literally everybody goes to hell where I come from. No, this is how you look at it. And from that point of view, that was my spiritual and religious perspective. But when you're hit in the neck by a bolt of lightning in the side of the head and it runs down your neck and it welds the nails of the heels of your shoes to the floor, throws you in the air, suspends you in the air and slams you down on the bed.
Wow.
28 minutes, completely paralyzed dead for 28 minutes, completely paralyzed for 6 days, partially paralyzed for 7 months, 2 years to learn to walk and feed myself.
Oh my God.
Losing about 50 pounds. What happens? You have plenty of time to think about what you went through.
Right.
But people don't die. This is one transition from this world to the next one. You lift out of your body. You're surrounded by love and light. You know where you are. You understand the mechanism that's happening. You know that it was created by something who loves you. You come into the blue-gray place. Then you move down the tunnel.
Well, I want to ask about that. I mean, when you were dying, when you died in that ambulance, what happened? Did you sort of see yourself looking at your body?
You just lift out of your body, not in your mind's eye, forget that. You lift out of your body. This blue-gray place, which is what the 3rd book is about.
Right. But did you say, I wanted to ask you before you even get there, because you hear so often you see a light and you go through a tunnel, and that sort of has come up in a lot of people's experiences and accounts. Is that what happened to you as well? Or
yes.
What actually happens when...
Well, when you lift out of your body, you have to, this blue-gray place, this is what I call it. You are letting go of the physical world and entering the ethereal world.
Okay.
So you're halfway in between the two, acclimating yourself, watching your body, and seeing these heavenly planes.
And how do you feel when you look at your body? Are you attached to it, or are you detached? Or
you're completely detached. It's like looking at a rock, or it's like looking at maybe an object. You're so detached from it.
Wow.
And the first thing you'll ever really think is, how in the world did anyone ever fool me into getting into that thing to start? When you are free as a spiritual being and you look at that body, you think that is the dumbest experience that you've ever gone through by inhabiting anything that is as cumbersome as we call the body.
So you're alive, you're conscious,
you're safe, you're free. Now, the first 2 times, these are the things that I experienced in the blue-gray place. Then I became aware of a tunnel, and I moved down the tunnel and came into a place of brilliant light. And it's a way that you keep vibrating. Your frequency changes. As a spiritual being, you change your frequency like so many things now in frequency modulation. You're changing your frequency. You're becoming a more refined vibration. And each one of these are represented by the tunnel, this place of light, these beings of light. And most people are met by their relatives. Anything that you've ever loved, from your pet rock, your pet rock, your chicken, a pig, a cow, a dog, is going to be there. Wow. Love transcends all levels. Love will pass from this level through every other level, the same as laughter. And it will all, wherever you've loved anything, it will be there when you come home. What we have to do is find the safety in the fact that it happens the same way for so many people, that there is a level of consciousness that is divine. It is a divine place that we all transcend to. And there is a mechanism that you go step by step to it. I've been through, Maura, I've been through this 3 times in 30 years.
That's quite a bit, actually. Did
Struck
you ever
by
wonder
lightning
why
twice.
you died 3 times in this lifetime? Did you ask yourself why you and why 3 times?
I didn't get it. You know, people always say, Dannion, why do you think you were chosen for this mission that you're gone on? I said, I always know why I was chosen. They were desperate. They had completely run out of messiahs, and they needed a fool to see if it would work with him, and so I got the job. You know, I don't see myself as anything that important, except that I understand death in America in the 21st century. I have been through 3 near-death experiences, struck by lightning twice, open heart surgery with given 9 months to survive, brain surgery, and a massive grand mal seizure and given an 8% chance of survival.
Yeah, you're a medical miracle.
And I have survived these things. And I've been a hospice volunteer now for 27 years. I have more than 16,000 hours at the bedside of people dying.
Yeah.
And I've been on the front vanguard of the movement of palliative and hospice care in the United States.
Yeah.
And I've been with 349 people.
Yeah, I know you are so devoted to serving humanity by being at the bedside of people who are dying and by helping them transition from life into death. And it's so sad because so often the dying are left alone or are neglected because so many people don't know how to be with the dying or are afraid. And it's just such a gift then that you could give to the dying and their loved ones to let the person be able to die not alone, feeling at peace, dying with dignity, and knowing that they're loved and safe. Exactly. I mean, that is such an amazing gift. And because right now, I mean, you talk about there's so much death going on in America. We've got this whole fear of terrorism going on. There's a real profound fear of death going on in our country. What would you say, what would your message be to people that are afraid of dying? Because also, I know you talk about that when you fear death, you're denying life.
That's the whole key. And we must embrace this. You're not going to die. Get over it. You're not going to die. It's not going to happen. Quit being afraid, because there are people who you love and who love you who need your support and help. There are veterans who defended this country that are there themselves alone. They need to know that it's okay. For me, Maura, living my dream. This is me living my dream. Yeah. I am not afraid of death, and those who serve this country, who are now 60 years later, or 40 years, or 10 or 15 years later, who've served this country, that I can be there with them to represent that they honored this country, that they are respected and appreciated, and that I can help them not be afraid because they are facing it. This is living my dream.
Yeah, and that is profound work that you do. And I know also that in 2003, last year, you were honored by being awarded the National Foundation for Women's Legislature Courage and Valor Award for the dedicated, incredible work that you do with our veterans. And I also know that you have a deep belief that people should not die alone, especially people who have served our country and given their life for that. And so I understand you've created an organization called the Twilight Brigade, Compassion in Action, and you actually train people on how to be with the dying. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Absolutely.
Because that sounds amazing.
This is living my dream. I have 2 dreams. One is to make a difference in the lives of people who are afraid of dying so that they can take care of their loved ones. And the other is having the family I gave up in 1975. 1975, I went on this mission. It destroyed everything to do with my world. And as clearly as it is spiritually amazing, I was given an entire family